What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're here for Dress Up Darling. Neil, get your shit together, man. Sorry. The uselessness in YouTube's AI system. Moment over, let's get to the usual caveat. If you have anything on your mind, whether to do with the episode, anything I say, or even my little rant just then, please don't forget to drop it down in the comment section, because it's always highly appreciated to see such things, as well as converse with myself or other people. As well as, at the very least, it's appreciated to let the episode run through, let me get the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And now that that's all said and out of the way, let's get back to Best Girl and go from an angry mindset because the dumb way they treated me to a happier mindset. And here's the thing, I'm just going to say real quick, if they did it for, like, maybe speaking about some, like, adult content, they can also touch their lips to my base, because that is also ignorant as fuck based on all the other adult-related content that not only my channel but anime has held over the years. Anyway. Also, pause real quick. I do just want to say, people that said to watch that Maple Star thing in between last episode and this one are crazy for it, but somehow it works. The fact she's still thinking about that is crazy, though, by the way. Also, actually, that's another added thing. For whoever might see this in case they do that cucking thing of pulling the video down. Patreon, next month, I can start uploading shit again, so W's. If you want to make sure that can consistently happen, you know what to do. Marin thinking about the... Ayo? Ayo. Okay, well, before they show us the... Well, I would hope they'd show us a little bit of the goods, because, like... Anyway. It's crazy that she's still considering that's what he means by everything he's saying, instead of just, like, he bought the drink, he's gonna chug and stay up all night to play. And she's all just like, wonder what size he bought. How big is it going to fit? That's everything racing in her brain right now. Like, there's that little part of her that's like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And then the rest of it is like, but like, that's all that's running through my mind right now. Also, people said they censored this scene in the anime compared to the manga. And I saw the manga panel, and I'm still not 100% clear on that. Like, I might be stupid. Well, okay, I am stupid. Like, the stupidest person on the planet, and that's been confirmed many a time. But, like, I still don't get how they censored it, per se. Like, maybe they changed the style of the panties a little bit, but there's also something dangling from her left hand, or from her right hand with the panties, so, like, maybe that was what I'm missing out on that. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know. If anyone's a manga reader, fill me in. Definitely. She has such a serious look on her face that boils down to nothing she's thinking it would be. But imagine, like, if what I mentioned, she's the one who started it. Would he have really argued? Granted, he wouldn't know quite the stuff involving the game as easily, but he wouldn't be sleeping that night, so it wouldn't matter. Okay, hold on. You're telling him he can take a shower, and you're also telling him that he can run the washer? Are, like, shit wired differently in Asian countries? Are we doing something wrong? As far as I've ever been aware my entire life, using the washer while someone's showering is a good way to piss them off. Hey, yo, the freaks get a show. Yeah, she actually did kind of start this all the way back in that episode. See, this is where his mind's starting, of the fact that he thought they were going to be in the same room but separated. And then she said he could sleep in her dad's room. But the thing about that is, she's currently on the mindset of, he's not planning on sleeping, and neither is she. So, he's just having the normal thought of, yeah, his original plan. Also, when has being, underslept a good thing for you, my guy? Of course it's the Shizuku shirt. Hoodie, why wouldn't it be? Hey, listen, within the next few years, she's gonna start stealing your clothing. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, right? Almost like she's trying to avoid you. Almost like she's having impure thoughts. Also, like, obvious jokes aside, obvious, thought processes going on aside, here's a thing for you. What's going on here with her is actually like even before the whole thoughts of what he might have in mind, which he doesn't, but the fact she's thinking of it really shows what kind of girl she is. I'm just saying. Anyway, this look right here is the level of comfortableness that is good. The level of that I wish, maybe one day I could have with somebody again. Because no contacts, no makeup. Like, at least I would assume no makeup, because in general she's very attractive. But, like, you can tell the difference even in, like, a drawn character that they're not wearing makeup. Clearly she doesn't have the contacts in, and I imagine she also does not have her usual amount of makeup on. It's a thing you can tell, and that shows a lot about the time they spent together. Someone pointed out, in the episode where she was sick, but she was sick, so, like, she didn't really have a choice. But, like, right now, she totally could still try, like, have some of her normal expressionisms, but she's gotten that comfortable with him by this point that she just doesn't care. And the fact that, she thinks things are going a certain direction technically isn't even a crazy thought process, because that means she's, like, accepting for herself that somebody else is accepting her being attractive as she is without needing all of that other stuff. So, like, yeah, while she's having some pretty lewd thoughts, in a way it's also, like, overcoming any sort of issue she might have had of him thinking without this or this. Which, again, still super attractive, even without the context and shit. So, like, point of the whole conversation is, y'all don't need fucking makeup to be attractive. A lot of y'all are plenty attractive without it. And there are a lot of pictures that go around of people trying to say that this person or that person is attractive without makeup. They're barely attractive with makeup, so... But that mostly applies to celebrities. Like, the average kind of person you'll see out and about on the streets. I see people that are way more attractive without the clown makeup they put on. That's just my opinion on it, though. I think he's just annoyed about the fact he's wearing an Ahigo hoodie. I'm sorry. And now, for those of you who are 18 plus, don't forget to go view that Maple Star thing. Or don't if you still live with your parents, because you don't want to get caught. Because honestly, between this scene right here and whatever happens later, it kind of works. Also, if this video gets flagged for something, how many times I've said that word, I don't think I can blame these useless cucks at YouTube. 3 scenes for the weirdos. Are you? Well, yeah. Also, to be fair though, like, for one on this, she's actually thinking about rationally, which a lot of people over the past, like, 20 years haven't. Crazy, right? But also, that's more to the other half of the thing of, like, a lot of teenage girls don't even keep that into consideration, Marin, so good on you. Even fewer on teenage boys having that in consideration, really. But girls, from what I've heard, what I've seen, unfortunately not experienced, they don't consider that too much. Like, people really just kind of, like, exchange a look, and then 90% of the time it ends up in, and she is out. The imagery of springs going up and down is crazy when that is not the actual thing going on. But the joke of the episode makes that work even better. Hey, yo, that does not help the situation either, my guy. I know you're just trying to see if she's okay, but, like... she did actually fall off the couch when she, like, overexerted herself there. Okay, not even a look of, like, care or concern. Just that same dull look. But again, her having those thoughts racing to her head in this moment, she cannot be blamed for, even though his only thought is what he's saying. She's still overthinking it, and she just hurt herself, so she's actually even crazier for not, like... It's funny. All the weirdos get a fourth shot! I was actually about to say something. This wasn't even an unintentional pause, by the way. I was going to say something about he's going to question what the fuck she's talking about. Can it wait until after I eat something? Can what wait until after you... Kitagawa-san, what do you think we're doing? And he just kind of went with it. And he's just confused. Why were you nervous? Did you think I was going to make you look like Shizuko? Because, like, I ain't ready for that either. Though... Okay. But if that's actually what her dad looks like, can I just say, and I really hate for pulling out one of these things, that is your stereotypical, Japanese business guy appearance. Like, I don't even think that's a hot take. Like, if you watch a dozen anime that involve that style of character, you're going to see at least 100 of this kind of character. Like, I don't mean to be, like, the stereotype or, that type or whatever, but this kind of case, I don't think it's too wrong. Also, why does it look like his shirt has one of those stickers like you see on a banana? Okay, seeing her as a brunette as a child, or even black-haired, I guess there's not really a different, like, it's either black or brown. They don't really have, like, a dark brown that's close to black, like my hair. Because when this shit's wet, it's black. So, yeah, I guess it would be a raven. I didn't even... I feel like we did actually know that one point that she used to, like, be a black-haired woman and, well, girl, I guess. And, the whole genre thing is why she's blonde, but even, like, end of manga, she's still a blonde, so I thought that was the natural thing. Actually, using realism thoughts, that's the crazy part, too, because, like, if she's naturally a black-haired woman, but she's still a blonde even as a parent, doesn't that mean she kept dyeing her hair even while pregnant? Technical manga spoilers, but honestly, the manga ended like 2 months ago, so if you're a fan of the franchise and you don't know that, well, right. Actually, think about it, maybe that makes even more sense towards other things. Okay, but again, last week was the week of, or was it the week prior? Anyway, one of the last couple weeks was the week of, like, good boyfriends in anime between Gojo and Ken, and I think even one other. But, like, this brought him back to, definitely being the best boyfriend of the week. Ken, still great competitor, but you can't argue with this much. Like, if Gojo doesn't win Male of the Week off whatever that silly reward system I see on Twitter or whatever, it's a travesty after this. Because, like, she had been having thoughts of, him taking her to the European version of the Dollar Tree. Pound Town! But instead, he did good boyfriend things. She passed out, he took her to bed with her favorite new plushie that he gave to her. Oh, some crazy shit about to happen. Also, I don't care how old I am, I don't think I would ever be able to watch or play something scary in the dark. In general. I think I tried to stream in the dark one year for Halloween, and honestly, the way the light looked on the camera just bugged the fuck out of me. He's experiencing how it works. Okay, so they're giving us a full look at the game too, which is crazy how the energy in the episode literally went from horny to calm to scary. Crazy how that works. The look on his face is kinda understandable for the shit that's going on. Hey yo? Hey yo? Honestly, Gojo? Valid. Like, no, I did not expect the tone of this episode to turn like that. Like, it's not even, like, the actual show being involved, but the plot of that game is fucking insane. Like, I feel like this is one of the first times, other than for, like, Takapi and stuff, where I actually have to say the words trigger warning for what I'm about to say. because while I don't respect people being soft and for this, that, and the other thing to be censored, trigger warning, fucking just talk about a whole plot line of a father doing the bad thing to his child and then the mother getting pissed off about it when she finds out. And I'm guessing by the context, there's, the mother's like taking out not only her daughter but all of her friends. I don't know if it's like a ghost thing, based on the whole nun setting, or if it's literally just like a serial killer thing. I don't know what it's about, but that's the context I'm getting from all this shit. And I thought the most dramatic thing in the whole series was going to be like when they bring up that random bit of Gojo's childhood friend. I did not know that was part of the plot line. Holy. Wonder if they ran over all that in the manga too, or if they just like gave a gist of it. Wonder if he's gonna have some like anxious scream about the situation that's gonna wake her up. And she wakes up in the morning, so apparently he didn't scream and wake her up. But I wonder if he's like having trouble sleep from night terrors than anything. Because if you're playing a game, you expect to just like be pretty casual, Yeah, hear that a bunch of your friends loved it. You expect for it to just be a fun time, maybe a little scary for a normal reason. And then you find out that it has, again, trigger warning, some incestuous level plot to it about why things went into the horror direction. That's insane. Like, shit. I feel like the only time I've ever seen a movie that was a plot line where it actually worked to make sense for things was the good remake of Black Christmas from like 2006 or whatever. Because it didn't have a huge help to the plot. It helped enough to where it made sense for, the guy in the movie to go crazy. At least in the beginning. But yeah, I very rarely hear shit like that in horror show things, so damn. Also, no, I was gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I don't think that was. Actually, there were Southerners. It might have been a plot line for that. Also, of course, like it is a main crux of Hills Have Eyes. I'm pretty sure. You're surprised? You fell asleep. He's 2 monsters deep and just regretting everything. Is it now hitting her that she was actually misunderstanding the whole situation? Yep, it just hit her. She's just now understanding. What did you think he meant, huh? Well, we know what she thought she meant, but like, honestly, based. Damn, he thinks of breakfast is just thinking of that. Crazy. Also, pretty good work on the artist, though. Like, we know what that's supposed to be that those nuns start eating, but it does just very much look like jelly. So, very good work on the artist for that. Yeah. Like, full disclosure, as much of a sidle person I am, that one thing with the character from Doki who did the thing, I'm that type of person mentally, and even I kind of like got struck to the core for a while from that. Then again, maybe because it's like a relatable thought process, that's why I got struck to the core like that. But then again, I guess that's a version of empathy. If you can relate to something instead of just like understanding how. Wait, what is it when it's relatable instead of just understandable? Is there a difference, or is that empathy either way? I don't know about all those like fancy newfangled philosophical words and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie though, like seeing this in this portion in the dub specifically is gonna be insane to see how Arma performs these couple of episodes. Is he on a group call with Marin's friends? Oh, damn, that's quite the plot twist. They just seem so pleased with the fact he played the game, and he's just devastated behind realizing the plot in the end. I think the age variety between them makes this even crazier, by the way. Because, like, the little sister of Juju is maybe 15 by this point. Like, the girl on his right, who low key might be the second cutest girl of the show, I think is older than him and Marin by a little bit. So you got three different ranges of age, and the younger and older ones are just like pleased he finished the game and understands the plot, and he's fucking devastated. That is an insane ending screen for a game. And, like, clearly, I guess yeah, I already said trigger warning once in the episode, so anything pertaining to the game, I guess, can combine, like, appease to that. So, as far as this whole thing going on, don't be that kind of person. Like, if you're gonna self-harm, do not be that kind of person. Be the kind of person that, if you're going to do it at all whatsoever, don't have it leave an injury, because that's just dumb. I'm gonna get off the screen though, just so it doesn't like actually trigger somebody. But like, yeah. Anyway, if you're gonna self harm, don't do that. Don't. That's attention seeking. No, I went over this in Family Guy years ago. That's all it is. Like, if you're actually stressed or depressed, there's many other ways to like harm yourself without fucking doing that. Like playing League of Legends. Or like, I'm just saying that there's ways that heal a lot easier. He's still traumatized to it because the second most pure one of all of them, actually she might be the most pure, loves something like that so dearly. Because, like, Marin, lewd thoughts more often than not. Like, last night included. The big sister, is like just a very aggressive person. The little sister, the pure innocent Juju, she's sweet, she's nice, she's way too into this horror stuff. True, it only lasts about half your life. Yeah, she's just now thinking of the fact she was overthinking it the entire fucking night. I mean, Gojo might like white, but that's also not where his mindset was last night. And to be fair, it still looks good, so. Girl. Listen. I'm going to just state this now that, like, as much as I love the series, as much as I love her, this better come to that point by season 3. And I would say maybe we don't get a season 3 if it doesn't get enough love. But this show not getting enough love is, like, impossible. Like, the amount of people I've heard mention that they love this show in just, of course, the past month is actually more than I thought I would, both in chat rooms and in public. Like, I wore this shirt when I went to go get some flowers the other day, and the fucking person taking care of me was like, "Oh, hey, dress up, darling. I love that show." Tried to start a conversation, but, that's not how things go for someone that looks like this. But, well, then just do it. Yeah. Especially during Noah's bit. That was still great in the first episode. Are you guys going out? Bitch. Okay, but she needs to realize it's not for the fact that she doesn't like her. It's the fact that he realized he liked her after that episode too much. Like, honestly, I think this show is probably one of the few times that they've actually shown that the girl is the one who doesn't, like, think about things much. Because, like, guys are always the dumbasses when it comes to relationships and, someone liking them or not. That's a factual thing. We are the stupider gender in that regard. However, like, full transparency, feminine types are also the dumber ones when it comes to just saying it. Case in point, love the woman, but holy shit. Because, like, we're just stupid. Like, period. End of story. We are dumb as hell. The feminine types, I don't care if you're, an actual woman, a femboy, or whatever it might be. If you have a crush on someone, say something. Because, like, at least of, maybe a high school area, that's a smarter choice. Because at least, 7 times out of 10, they're not just gonna, like, say they like you, fuck you, and then leave. But you still have a better chance of that not happening when you're younger. Still could happen, but the older you get, the more likely it's gonna happen. Guy just says, yeah, sure, you're super attractive, let's do a thing. They go on 2 dates, and then they'd never call you again. Wrong. See, that's the thing. He probably would start off the thought process like that. And then it'd go the other direction. It's funny how she thinks he'd avoid her at every cost after admitting it to him that she likes him. Listen, I'm just saying, unless a guy who gets admitted that a hot girl likes him is into, other guys, most guys would give their answer immediately. Like, even some fucking shy loser types, like myself, because, like, I might not have been as hideous as I am now back in high school and shit, which is weird to consider, considering I'm, like, mostly the same person, but that's neither here nor there. If I, for some reason, had a 10 out of 10 admit that they liked me, I would have first shown my doubt, clearly, because, like, a 10 out of 10 saying they're into me, the fuck, are you crazy? But eventually it would have been like, are you sure? Because, like... So, like, this whole thing she's imagining, unless he's, like, still, like, a doll fetishist or whatever, I don't think it happened. And to be fair, even if he was still a doll fetishist, well, she's his doll, so, like... And that's not to say she's an object. No, she's the thing he cares the most in the world about to make look beautiful, which he does very well, many times. Him being super embarrassed not to say shit, though, that's one thing, but I don't think it'd be delayed this long. Like, to where he'd actually avoid her. Okay, that's funny, though. She is overthinking it so much it makes me feel bad. Okay, to be fair, though, that time was something different. Okay, but, like, her whole thing that she just went through is one of those things that states even more so. Women should stop waiting on men to say shit. Because, as the years continue to go on, more of us are just, like, less likely to say anything, so y'all need to start getting to it. Like, it's one thing if you don't find hideous people like me attractive, but there's a lot of, like, half decent looking people that are introverts that, like, would never want to say anything to anybody because of the way that things are traveling on social media nowadays. And that's a factual statement. Like, I see it all the time popping up on my feed. Maybe if my algorithm was different, it wouldn't be quite the same, but listen, if I see at least 100 videos a week about a similar topic... Is she actually trying to ask Noah? I think Noah's just the instigator. She's not really, like, the type to think of these things. Someone asked you out? Noise. It's just a what if, girl. Come on. Pick up. Also, I think maybe my style of how I speak with, like between every 7 words might have come from watching anime like this too often. I blame the jars. What shit talk about him? Oh yeah, no, that... Like, listen, he seems like the kind of guy who actually would be the reverse for, The basically, self-esteem personified. He's never actually going to get a girlfriend, but maybe one of these days the girls he's friends with will call him up one day when their boyfriend dumps them or something, and he'll actually get lucky. But otherwise, he'll probably try too hard and fail 99% of the time. Like, I wish I had that confidence, and even that appearance, because, like, if I'm a tryhard, at least I'm still kind of attractive, unlike this. That does not help her current thought process, dude. Yeah, like telling her to go home immediately as she gets there is actually like really harmful to her current, ironically enough, self-esteem. Like she's been depressed all day, thinking the wrong way about things the whole time. That's because her mind let her get the better of her, and she just got too much in her own head. Like, damn, there's getting too much in your own head when you have valid reasons, again. And then there's getting too much in your head when you have zero reason to do it. Because, again, like, she's a 10 out of 10, and he might be an idiot, but he's also a pure enough person who, if she did admit her feelings to him, I don't think the way that she thought he'd treat her would be any way in the way that he would treat her. Now, granted, I don't think we even got a portion of that in the manga to where he like had any reason to deny her. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure at the point of the manga when she eventually did say something or he said something, it was like quite mutual. That's actually why I really hate manga spoilers existing online, though, because I'm just like so about wanting to just get to the end of the story, but I'm not like someone who can make time to read manga. It's one thing if I could like rent anything I wanted at the library with zero issue, or I had just like a decent device to read manga on, and you know there was actually places to read any manga. Anime and manga and shit like that need to stop. Like everything needs to just have like 5 global services that have everything. Things need to stop being separated. Like literally, movies, anime, etc. All that needs to stop being separated. It needs to be all in one place. Because like, that's how they drain you for money, man. Like that's how streaming services really just milk you dry. Is like they don't have the services just available on one thing. Shows should be available somewhere. Everything should be available somewhere. Even if you have to pay a little extra for it, sure, whatever, that's one thing. You know, if it's like super old or super new. The super old stuff, I don't really agree with that. You know, fuck you, HBO Max, for taking off Courage the Cowardly Dog after I watched one episode. But that's my point. Like, everything should be available somewhere for a simple price. You know, you can have your Netflix and Disney absolving Hulu and something else for a bunch of shit. And that's 3 services instead of like 20. And then for manga, you can have like your Shonen Jump and your Viz Media and another thing. That's 3 things for manga instead of the fucking 30 that probably exist. These services are doing way too much to like milk people dry, and it just needs to stop, man. It just really needs to stop. It is so fucking sickening. Everyone on the planet is so sick of it, and like not a lot of us can do anything about it because we kind of look at the services we have and go, well, if I get rid of this, I'll lose access to these things. If I get rid of this, I'll lose access to these things. If I get rid of this, I'll lose access to the. It just gets to be a whole fucking pain in the ass process, and people don't like stop paying $10 off this thing for a month just to like apply it 2 months later to finish a show they started 5 months ago. It's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Anyway, rant over. That wasn't even like a life lesson thing like I usually rant on or like something like that. It was just personal aggravation that a lot of people can relate to. Why are you supposed to avoid eating fish for dinner? Sounds weird. Also, pause just so I can bring back some more wholesome thoughts. Him making food for her specifically because she mentioned that she wants it, again, brings him back to be top boyfriend of the week, if not the season. Because she didn't, like, say specifically what she wanted fried. She just said she wanted something fried. So him using his pure, wholesome, good guy mindset when I'm going to try this for her. And it's not successful as of the moment, but he's getting there. And like, honestly, I emulate to be somebody like that. Which, with with any luck by the season finale, actually, that might have a surprise attached to it. But Yeah, and now she's realizing that her having thoughts of he'd deny her in any way, shape, or form was, well, asinine, I guess I'll put. Okay, but that does look like a pretty good piece of fish. Like, I don't eat fish, but that does look good. The look on her face is just full of thanks and appreciation for him. Get you a girl that looks at you like that. It's the end of the. Are we gonna be cucked into thinking that she's gonna say something just for it to drop off into a cliffhanger? I might actually scream. It's probably not, but again, I swear, if she just starts with I and then it cuts to the credits, don't do it. That's slightly less annoying. The way I was ready to shatter my voice box. So, this is actually the complete kind of situation that is not good to have happen to somebody like her. But also, this is probably not even going to go in the direction I think it is, because two very shady looking dudes approaching a 10 out of 10 never ends up well in the middle of the night. Yeah, no, honestly, I kind of had that vibe. The shocked look on their faces, though. Hey, wait. Something you wouldn't find in America is people leaving a girl alone after being told that. Crazy, right? I like how she said weak and depressed. Bitch, you just had the strongest kind of attitude that a lot of people would dream of having. Will you, though? Will she, though? Actually, I kind of feel like the statement I made a couple moments ago is going to happen on episode 12, and that pisses me off more. But we'll see. Of course, that has to be the last line of the episode, but at least it wasn't like her about to tell Gojo, and then it cut. Oh my god, the amount of angry that would have made me. Alright. So, we'll start off with, hopefully the dumbass dipshit McFuckingtons at YouTube don't pull this episode as well, because these troglodytes don't actually understand how copyright works and just pull shit at their own volition. Otherwise, I guess you'll just be hearing this with the cut-up version, which I guess I need to, like, rush about. But, let's talk about the actual episode. Number one, I definitely did not see them actually, like, explaining how that game went in full to us, the audience. You know, like, I'm just now realizing that light has been blinking red for probably the last 2 or 3 episodes, and maybe I should, like, put the nighttime shirt in front of it at some point. My bad for if you've been seeing that lately. I know that's probably annoying. Maybe I'll try to fix that in the smaller versions. Anywho, as I was saying, I was not expecting the game to show all of that as it did. This was like a crazy episode all around, really. Between her having perverse thoughts about what he might want to do, him being just utterly defeated at the entirety of the game, seeing Juju and Suzuka's just very pleased expressions of him going over his feelings about the game with them, which honestly I'd probably feel the same way if somebody played a game I recommended to them, regardless of how fucked up it got. I don't think I've actually played enough horror games to, like, recommend somebody like that. Maybe, but I think the most trigger warning based game that I could probably recommend somebody that was a fun game is one that most people have already played with Doki Doki, because again, that one part with Sayori, now I remember her name, was it a little triggering even for somebody like me who has that kind of mindset, but overall it was still a good game by the end, especially the whole, like, fourth wall breaking, computer tweaking, that kind of shit with Monica. That was really cool. But the emotions that went around both of them the entire episode was fucking insane, and I loved it. Now, do I imagine by the end of episode... I just have thought, are we going to get that whole turning point at episode 12 leading into the next season, actually, with that girl from Gojo's past? I hope not. Hopefully they don't, like, bring that up until, like, the early half of season 3. Because, again, if we don't get season 3, that's going to be a fucking travesty. A lot of people love the show. A lot of people love the characters. A lot of people love Marin and her not only JP but also EN voices. Because, listen, honestly, if there is, like, I'll say in the way of one female YouTube content creator I appreciate what she does more than anything else, it is probably Alma. Like, musically, voice actor wise, even as a VTuber slash comedian, I appreciate everything she does. Honestly, if I ever had a chance to go to a con she's at, I would probably bring, like, one of these shirts or one of those standees for her to sign. Not even gonna lie. I feel like anything on my bed might be a little too much, but shirt, standee, definitely. Like, honestly, if I ever have the con, I might go to, if they do another Anime NYC and she's there again, 100%. But great episode, great all around stuff. Funny, concerning, couple of good topics, couple of whack topics, but all around, again, great episode, and hopefully the dumbasses at the YouTube AI service don't do anything. Matter of fact, here, let me do something that maybe you guys will understand. This isn't like the episode itself, so you have no reason to copyright it. There, does all that go around behind the screen make you realize it's not the episode itself, you fucking numbskulls? Anyway, you can let me know your thoughts about the episode or anything I might have said pertaining to the episode or just in general in the comment section down below, because that is always appreciated to hear and see people trying to let their thoughts be known and converse with myself or other people, because either way it's good for the mindset, it's good for the soul, it's good for the algorithm, good for all that kind of shit, as is hitting the like button, subscribing to the gaming channel in the description, because that also helps me out immensely. That channel's been around way longer and it's gotten way less love. So, you know, and I'm trying to do some more consistent self-hiring again, even if it's just like some lame shiny reactions or something still. Because even if it's shiny reactions to something I have, done, yeah, it's at least something I'm trying to do. I also have gotcha game related stuff I have in mindset to do for this stuff, so we'll see how that goes eventually. Ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, get the full and visual and audio of the stuff I upload over here. Starting next month completely, at least temporarily, because I have so many backed up files on this flash drive, but starting next month, I'll be able to upload all of them, hopefully, because I don't think I have a restricted amount of storage space once I actually have a new subscriber. Unfortunately, that can't kick off until the first of the next month. So that's the part that sucks, but it is what it is. Anywho, go follow Twitch, subscribe there for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, helps me out immensely for the temporary, this for the long term. Check out the playlist here, I'll run through conversations with stuff within whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here if you're watching the smaller version, the bigger version to see what you missed. And all that being said, spend the blaze again with King's Critiques, saying, YouTube AI, don't cuck me again. Peace.